Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, October 10th, 10/10 of 2021. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes within ourselves that create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Because, as Gandhi says, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. So we start with ourselves and we make the changes that help us to align with what is in the Most High in our creation and all of nature and everything that impacts this beautiful planet that we live on, that sustains us and gives us life while we're here for this very short segment of our life journey. And God willing, we continue as not just a once a week practice, but a daily life endeavor to align ourselves and our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings and our habits and our practices and everything that we do and say in all of our relationships and interactions with each other in a way that creates peace, fosters love and compassion, and creates harmony throughout all of the world. Now, today's topic is creating healthy boundaries without creating barriers. The poet Rumi says, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." And so many times, whether we recognize it or not, the barriers that we've built within ourselves come from our attempt, our intention to set healthy boundaries in order to protect ourselves. But when we set those healthy boundaries, or that, let's face it, they're not necessarily healthy boundaries. Sometimes they are the best way that we know how to create a healthy boundary in the moment. They're what's needed for the sake of survival and for what we need to protect ourselves to get through the situation that we're in the moment. A lot of times we keep them there. We hold them there way beyond their expiration point, or the point where they have served their purpose. And sometimes we don't know any other way but to create walls around ourselves and cover it over with a roof and construct a whole building out of concrete and cinder blocks and everything else, and seal up every crack and crevice and board up the windows and everything else to protect ourselves from whatever situation we're in, because it can be overwhelming, and there's sure been a heck of a lot of overwhelm floating around our world lately. But when we create that level of boundary, especially when we're at that overwhelm point, we tend to leave them up, and they create blocks and barriers to real love, to the flow of love and the true healthy relationships that we want. And a lot of times when we're setting a boundary, it's with the people that are closest to us. It's the minor ones where it's like, okay, you're getting a little too close. I'm starting to feel controlled by you. I need to set a little boundary here. I'm feeling pulled too much in one direction from you, and I need to set a boundary here. And a lot of times we will, establish a boundary there that impacts the relationship in a negative way, when the intention of setting the boundary is to help to save the relationship or to make the relationship better, to improve the relationship, right? So that we're not pulling on each other and being needy of each other in ways that are creating a drag on the relationship. So how can we set the healthy boundary in a way that creates an improvement in the relationship, or saves a relationship, as opposed to destroying the relationship? And how can we hold the boundaries that protect us and support us and still leave us open for potential new healthy relationships and new opportunities that are coming in. And do not create those blocks and barriers that keep love out of our hearts. Keep us from the love that is meant for us, right? Because this whole world is all about love. Everything is love. When I had my initial big bang, spontaneous, unexpected spiritual awakening, when I came out of that experience, that epiphany experience, I knew in every fiber of my being, almost every fiber of my being, I'm sure there were a few objections there that popped up later, but in that moment, I knew that love was all there is, and all that matters is love. And everything is love. Everything in this existence is love. And I knew that at that time. And I know that now. And so how can we be in our surrender, if you will, and receiving love in our hearts and in our lives and allowing it to flow through us and allowing our energy beings to commingle with the energy of love and maintain those healthy boundaries that are going to keep us protected so that we can stop hiding in our lives and start thriving. Let's go ahead and come into our prayer and healing circle. Let's come into our circle sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And let's bring all of our senses to face toward the center of our circle. Let's bring our hearts to face to the center of our circle. And let's invite our bellies to come and be present with us in this circle. And together let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. We ask you to send your essence of your pure divine light. And just imagine, perceive in whatever way you do this pure divine light streaming into the center of our circle. And imagine this vibration, this cleansing, purifying vibration streaming into the center of our circle, filling all of our virtual meeting space with pure divine light, cleansing, purifying, cleaning all of the space. And just let all of your body and your being be met with this pure divine light. Feel this light, this landing on your skin. And feel this light, this pure light, this purifying, cleansing, healing light. Just feel that penetrating through your skin and touching into all of your nerve endings of your electrical system, and sending this purifying light through your electrical pathways, cleansing those pathways and restoring them to their original light. And imagine this light and feel this light meeting all of your sensory organs, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your skin, your tongue. Just let this light touch into all of your sensory organs and cleanse and purify them of their old pictures that are no longer serving your highest good. Let any of the old stuff that's hanging around be cleansed and purified from your sight, from your hearing, from your smell, from your taste, from your sense of touch or feel. Just let it all be cleansed, and let this pure divine light travel through all of your neurological pathways, from your sensory organs, through your cranial nerves and into your brain and central nervous system, traveling through, restoring all of this to its original light, and through your pores and through your nerve endings and your beneath your skin, and traveling through those electrical pathways, cleansing and purifying your consciousness, your cellular consciousness, or your nervous system of its old patterning. And let this light absorb into your skin and penetrate into your cells, cleansing and purifying all of your being with this pure divine light, returning you to your original light, releasing any of the old blocks and barriers that you don't need, that aren't serving your highest right now. Any of those old barriers that you built to protect yourself from things of the past that are not a part of your life today. They're just hanging around causing blocks that you don't need. You can take a deep breath, breathe that light in, and as you exhale, let it go. Let everything go. Breathe, receive, and let it land. And breathe, bringing our focus again to the center of our circle. Let's call on our source. In the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you. We ask you to send your essence of your unconditional love. This is the love that flows through all things, regardless of any of the conditions that we set. Love is love is love. And the only thing that blocks it from flow is our own blocks and barriers. So now we've released a bunch of blocks and barriers there. And the love can flow more freely into those places that have been freed up. So invite the love to flow into those places, even if you don't recognize where they are. You don't have to direct it. You can just take a deep breath, relax, and allow that love to flow into those places that have been protected, and while protected, in need of love. Perhaps even more so in need of love than any other part of you. Let that love flow into those places. And as this love streams into the center of our circle, this pure divine light and unconditional love, let your heart center face toward this flow of divine light and unconditional love, toward this vibration that's flowing into the center of our circle. You have a funnel of energy that extends from the front of your chest, your heart space, and let that turn and face into this pure divine light and unconditional love as it's flowing into our circle. And let your heart just tip up, that funnel tip up slightly, and receive that flow of pure divine light and unconditional love into your heart center. And let that flow into your heart space. And use your breath to draw that into your heart, drawing it deep into your heart with your inhale. And as you exhale, just let yourself release the cobwebs, the clutter, any of the dust that may have settled into that space, any of the tension. So let that be released as you exhale. And as you inhale, draw in that vibration of pure divine light and unconditional love. Drawing that in. And as you exhale, relax, release, let your heart center be soft. Come to rest, come to relax. And allow that pure divine light and unconditional love to flow through your heart. And with each inhale, take that deeper and deeper and deeper into the center of your heart. You can let your energy body, your conscious body, let that just lean back toward your spine and really fall into the center of your body. Fall into the center of your body and let that stream of divine light and unconditional love, as it flows through your heart center, through that funnel and through your heart center, just let yourself receive it and receive it. And as it flows through, let it flow into the center of your body like a gentle waterfall. And as you stand in your center or rest into your center, just let yourself receive this waterfall and be like the dry sponge that absorbs all the way through your being to complete absorption of this water of pure divine light and unconditional love as it flows through your heart center all the way into the core of your body, filling the core of your body with this pure divine light and unconditional love, and your conscious body standing right under that waterfall, and be like the sponge, the dry sponge, and absorb that water into all of your sponge all the way through until you become fully drenched in divine light and unconditional love. And in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate, we call on you together. Let's call on our source. We ask you to send your vibration, your essence of your eternal compassion. This is compassion that does not depend on our time and space. It extends far beyond our time and space realm and completely holds and contains all of this existence in this human experience that we're having here on this planet. This 3D material realm experience that all of our creation is having on this planet is held in this ocean of eternal compassion. So feel yourself held in this eternal compassion. Let this compassion, this vibration of compassion, flow in and surround you, support you, and hold you. Just feel yourself filled with divine light and unconditional love, surrounded and held in compassion, cared for, nurtured, protected, completely accepted as you are, with no boundaries, no blocks, no barriers, at least from the perspective of the light and the love and the compassion. Some of those boundaries and barriers we need for protection still. I'm not asking you to totally dissolve all of that in one instant. But feel yourself held in this eternal compassion. Held, supported, loved, protected. And fill your being, filling with unconditional love, Love that loves no matter what. And purified by this pure divine light. And I want to invite you to reflect, just to feel into yourself, feel into your energetic space, into your body, and notice, are there any places where you're holding walls, where you've constructed walls and they're still there and you're holding them? Or not even conscious, perhaps. Just notice if you feel any of those protective blocks and barriers around you or within you. Sometimes they're in the heart. Sometimes they're in the belly. Sometimes they're in the solar plexus. Sometimes we feel them in the jaw or in the throat, in the neck, in the back. Just notice if you feel any of those around you, or maybe they're 10 feet out from your body, holding a big protective barrier around you. Just notice. And if you notice any, let's begin by thanking them. Thank those boundaries for the service that they provide you, because they're there for a reason, because you've needed them. You've called them to be there. You've carefully constructed them. Or perhaps thrown them up. Called them in. You needed them. So first off, let's thank them for their service that they have provided. Let's acknowledge them. Acknowledge for the way they've helped to improve or get us through a situation that we needed help with. And I want to use this as an opportunity to look deeper within yourself. So first you can ask the boundary itself. How is it serving you? What is it protecting you from? Or if you can feel in your heart, I'm going to give you a minute with that first. Ask the boundary itself. What is it protecting you from? How is it serving you? When we have something like that we have called in, it is serving a part of ourself that feels deficient, that is feeling perhaps overwhelmed or overrun or unable to protect or defend ourselves, feeling an inner weakness or perhaps an outer weakness. So just take a full and gentle breath and feel into yourself. What is it inside of yourself? Where does that land in your body, in your heart, in your mind? Where does that land inside yourself? And what is it inside yourself that has been needing this protection? And I caution you not to go into story about, well, this happened, that happened, and therefore blah, 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 because that keeps it on the outside. I want to invite you into your own center. And a question to ask yourself is, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? Like your first order experience of, I am feeling a sense of perhaps an anxiousness, a weakness, a fear, or anything like that. Powerlessness. Overwhelm, whatever that might be. And just let yourself acknowledge that feeling. And then ask yourself, what do I need? What do you need? So what are you feeling? And what do you need? And again, I caution you not to go out to what you need from the other person on the other side of the boundary, but what do you need within yourself? Like if you're feeling powerlessness, you might need to know your own sense of power. If you're feeling an unworthiness, it may be that you need to feel your own value, your own sense of worth. If you are feeling a weakness or an inability to stand up for yourself, it may be that you need the inner strength. You need to find your own inner strength. Life gives us many opportunities to know our deep inner selves and to really find and experience and embody our true inner selves through these life experiences. So as I'm asking you to inquire into what it is that you need, I am asking you because this is an opportunity for you to find that need, the answer to that need, within yourself. This is the opportunity that we have today to find the answer to that need at the core of your own being. At the core of your own being is divine life force energy. And contained within this divine life force energy is the light, the love, the compassion, the truth, the strength, the power, the worthiness, the value, the purpose. All of those things that are a part of your life force energy are breathed into you, along with that which gives you life, that which gives you breath, that which gives you consciousness. It's all contained in there. And these life experiences give us the opportunity to reach within ourselves and find those places and allow them to emerge from the inner. And when they emerge from the inner, we no longer need the walls. You know, like when a tree is just a sapling and it's planted in the ground, we'll often put that protective netting around it so the deer don't come and eat it, or so it doesn't get stepped on and knocked over. And once it gets to a full-grown tree, it doesn't need that net anymore. It grows far beyond that. It grows strong and tall and broad. It doesn't need that anymore. So as you feel into yourself, what are you feeling and what do you need? That need, if you can be with that need, be with the need. And let's call directly on Source. And imagine yourself heart to heart, face to face with your Source, with your need, being present with your need, and bring that to be seen and to be witnessed by your Source. As you feel that need, let it just deepen, and as that need is witnessed, let it deepen into your heart, like going inward, further and further inward. Let it deepen into your heart, and as it deepens into your heart, feel the deep yearning that you have within yourself, especially as you sit face to face with your source. Let that need become a yearning. And ask your source directly. Like, bring that yearning to meet your source and allow your source in to meet your yearning. And you don't even have to know specifically. There will most likely be more given than you can name. So it's okay if you can't name it all, but let that light come in, let that love come in, let that compassion come in, and whatever else it is that you need, the power, the strength, the worthiness, the value, the purpose, the truth of your own existence, and breathe that all the way into your core. Take it all the way into your core, and as you exhale, let yourself drop down and land into your pelvic bowl. Breathing into your core and landing into your pelvic bowl. And again, breathe it all the way into your core, and exhale, drop down and land into your hips, and feel yourself seated in your chair. Just feel yourself in your body. And one more time, breathe, inhale all the way into your core. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your hips. And you can put your hands over your belly and really provide your belly the safety and the nurturing, the protection. You put your hands over the front of your belly and feel yourself land into your body. Because what you need, there is a yearning inside of yourself, and that yearning comes from something that we humans have to go through when we come on this journey. We come into our physical bodies and we forget the inner knowing. We forget the connection with the all that is, with the encompassing knowing that we contain. That is a part of our life force energy. We forget that, and that's by design. But once we forget it and think ourselves as separate from it, we perceive ourselves as separate from it, it creates a yearning inside of ourselves to return to it. That yearning to return home to what we know and to who we truly are. So let that yearning in your heart draw the knowing from your source and the guidance from your source to the knowing within yourself, inside yourself at your core. As you breathe that in from your source, let it meet with the knowing inside of you at your core. And as you exhale, drop down and land into your hips, into your pelvic bowl. Give the safety and comfort to your belly. And I want to invite you to create an I am statement as you land into your belly. And you can put your hands over your belly, or if it makes you feel even stronger, you can put them on your hips, like the Wonder Woman stance with the hands on the hips. And if you were, for instance, yearning for an inner strength or an inner knowing or an inner truth, a worthiness, a value, a purpose, whatever that might be that you need, say, I am worthy. I am truth. I matter. I am valuable. And feel that reverberate through your core, As you stand with your hands on your hips and feel your strength, I am strong. I am powerful. I am important. My needs are important. My values are important. My purpose is important. And let that again reverberate through your core. And feel like that sapling inside yourself, the sapling of knowledge, of truth, of power, of strength, whatever that is inside of yourself that you're being called to witness, allow that to be fed by this super hydrating, super nutrient, super fertilizer as it drips in and feeds that sapling, and let that sapling grow. Let it grow into the mature, strong, broad tree, taking roots deep into the ground, into the earth, and growing at your core into a strong, healthy tree. And feel that grow inside of yourself, and feel yourself growing inside of yourself, inside of your body and your energy space. Feel those roots growing deeper into the ground. Feel yourself becoming more solid, more certain, more secure, stronger. Allow yourself to fully take up the space of your physical body and your outer energy field. And again, breathe into your core as you exhale, drop down and land into your pelvic bowl, into your hips. You can put your hands over your belly or on your hips and feel the strength. You can reinforce this with the physical position of standing in that Wonder Woman stance with your hands on your hips, and slightly engage your abdominal muscles and feel your core strength as you recite for yourself, I am strong, I matter, I am worthy, I am powerful. I am whole. I am complete. And feel that taking hold in your body, grounding in you, and feel yourself growing stronger and taller and really filling out the space of your physical body and your energy field. This is your immediate energy field, not too far. Mostly in the core of your body. And continue. Let's repeat that I am statement a few more times, and each time, again, reinforcing it with the physical. Feeling that I am strong, I am powerful, I am purposeful. My needs matter, My values matter. My purpose matters. I matter. You matter. Your needs matter. You are a being of divine strength and divine power. And if you glitch on strength and power, the strength and power that is the ugly strength and power that we don't like comes from an outer wielding of strength and power that compensates for the inner lack. When we have the inner strength and power, we can be gentle on the outer and loving on the outer without having to wield a big stick and hurt people. This is how strengthening on the inner. Now, strengthening on the inner, knowing the power on the inner, knowing the importance on the inner, can translate to healthy boundaries on the outer. Number one, when we learn the lesson or find the inner part of ourselves that this is giving us an opportunity to find, and we allow that to strengthen, to blossom, to grow into the big, strong, mature tree, and we really embody that and feel that inside of ourselves, we can let go of the barriers that we needed because we're no longer that weak little sapling, that we don't need that outer fencing anymore. As you feel that strong tree inside of yourself, well, take a look back out to the outer barriers. Where are they? Are they still there or have they moved? What do you notice? Do you need them? Can you let them go? If you can let them go and you don't need them, just call on your source, call on the angels, all the healers, helpers, and guides, and just ask them to please take them, transmute them, deliver them to their rightful place. They know, they have wisdom and can see beyond what we can see. We'll let them go. And take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, just blow it all out. Standing again in your center, feeling that inner strength, that inner power. And letting those barriers go. And now in this next part, if there is a person on the other side of that barrier that you want to reconnect with, that you want to have a relationship with, if not, then let them go too. If it's somebody that you do not want back in your life and do not want to have a relationship with, go ahead and just ask for any remnants of them or any cords or any connections to release, and for any energy left behind from them to just dissipate from your field and be completely gone. Let all of that space fill with light. Let that go. Again, a deep breath. And as you exhale, blowing all of that away. And then if there is someone there that you do want to have a relationship with, that you want to have a healthier relationship with, allow yourself now to anchor in your strength, anchor in your center, in your core, in this tree, rooted in the ground. Staying in your center. This is the key, staying in your center, not leaving your center to meet them, but staying in your center and allowing an arm Just imagine your arms are like an extension of your heart center, and from the palm of your hand, love can flow from your heart out through the palm of your hand while you stay centered in your body and grounded into the earth. You can just reach your arm out and let that love flow to that person, and just invite that love to flow and to heal, to bring healing to that connection between you and that person. Again, as you don't leave your core, don't leave your center, stay grounded in your hips and connected to the earth. You're anchored in the base of your tree, roots in the ground as a branch reaches out. And let that love bring the healing. And just notice if you have a different viewpoint, a different vantage point on the situation and the person. I'm exchanging a lot of words today. You have a different viewpoint, different vantage point to observe the situation and the person. And ask for some help and some guidance on how you can be with this person and stay in this grounded place, centered, connected in your own strength and in your own power as you interact with the people with whom you want to improve relationship or foster relationship. And practice that. This might be something you want to come back to this recording and practice that through the week. Staying in this grounded, centered, connected place, letting the love flow as that relationship between you and the person who was on the other side of that boundary continues to heal and be reconnected from a loving place. Just take a breath, and you can just kind of feel the energy moving, if you will, and feel it flow, feel the connections and the healing taking place there, and be as a witness, observing what is changing and shifting in that. Take a deep breath. And again, center in your body and bring your attention to your heart. Let's turn our hearts to our source and let the heart bow in gratitude. And there may be a need for some forgiveness, to do some forgiveness work around whatever relationship is there. That may be still something that needs to happen. For today, I'm going to leave it here. If you need support with any additional inner work, or talking through the forgiveness, or working on the pieces on the inner or the outer, you're welcome to connect with me. You can always schedule a time to chat with me at schedulewithdeborah.com. So I don't want to leave you hanging on that, but I want to leave this part because that's getting into a whole other hour. So I want to leave it for now at this place of feeling that inner strength and allowing that love to flow. All right. And as you turn your heart to your source, let your heart bow in gratitude. Give thanks for what you've received today. And I'm going to be ending the recording and opening for the Q&A. If you are listening to the recording, you're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining us live at joyfullylivingwellness.com, joyfullylivingwellness.com. While you're there, pick up your copy of the 10 spiritual principles of our human existence. It's a one sheet that reminds you about who you are, what this life is about, why we're here. It comes with a 15-minute guided meditation to help you to stay connected with this light, love, and compassion that is the core of your being. And it will also sign you up for reminders about our weekly call so that you can receive the reminders and be sure to join us live. Okay, and with that, I am ending the recording and opening for the Q&A. Thank you very much.